Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday and welcome to Q4. Listen, I made a post about this yesterday, right? And welcome to Make It Happen Mondays. But I made a post about this yesterday, right? We have 3 more months in this year, so it is time to get at it. And today's show and our guest is going to be for sure a part of this, what's going to make you get up and make it happen this week and for the rest of the quarter. So, welcome to Make It Happen Mondays. If you do not know me, I am Monique, and I am the curator of Make It Happen Mondays, and I am your host. Make It Happen Mondays is where we take a little bit of time out of our busy lives so we could be informed, inspired, and make it happen for the rest of the week. If you also do not know, I am the founder of She's Rising, which is a signature series of coaching programs, online resources, and event experiences that help Black women rise from their fear, uncertainty, and feeling overwhelmed so they can show up as their best self unapologetically. And if this is your first time on Make It Happen Mondays, this is a virtual space that I created for Black women where we can talk out our stuff and we don't have to have any filter. It's where we share our stories so we know that we are not alone, and we help to elevate Black women that are making it happen every single day. But most importantly, we gain our strength, we refuel ourselves, and we grow. Okay. So I want you to stay connected with me. If you're not following me on Instagram at Monique Inc., please do so. Subscribe here on YouTube. And we go live every Monday. It's intentionally live because we want you guys to say hello, to talk to us, to ask your questions, to join the conversation. So make sure you say hello so we can say hi back before we bring on our guests. Make sure you say hello, share it with others, and let's make this conversation come to life today. Let your girls know to join today and every other Monday to kick off your week. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on our guests, but I want to share this with you. I said that we do retreat experiences. Right now, I am coming to you from the beautiful island of St. Martin. If you do not know my story, I moved to this island in January after falling in love, come a visit, right? And I keep having women say, when you gonna host a retreat? When you gonna host a retreat? So last week while I was on the island, I looked at 5 different locations for a retreat, and I'm happy to say that I have narrowed it down. And so we will be having retreats in 2024. I want to go ahead and put this link in the chat. It is a wait list because I am giving it to whoever signs up on that wait list. You will be the first to know. It will be limited spots. And I'm going to bring you to the island of St. Martin. And it's not just going to be a tourist experience. We're getting deep down into the culture, but we're also doing our beautiful life visioning work so you can make it happen throughout all the lives and live a life that you don't feel you need to escape from. So go ahead and go on there and do on the wait list so you could be a part of the retreat. And I'm so excited that it's finally happening. All right, y'all. Our guest today is such a powerhouse, and I feel so privileged that she decided to join us on Make It Happen Mondays. I've known her for years. I watched her from a distance. I have admired her. I have picked her brain to help me along my path. And so we have Edith Donaldson-Wheeler, and I'm going to read her bio and then bring her on with her Make It Happen song, okay? So Edith Donaldson-Wheeler is an entrepreneur from Cleveland, Ohio. She's currently residing in Atlanta, Georgia. Edith has been married for 20 years with 4 beautiful children. She is a graduate of Cleveland State University with a bachelor's degree in communications. She's also a real estate agent at Brick House Realty in Cleveland, Ohio, and Atlanta Key Firm in Georgia. Edith is an interior designer and president of Beauty Is Me Youth Development, a nonprofit based in Cleveland, Ohio, for young women between the ages of 10 and 18. As the owner of Bang Salon, she has 30 plus years of experience in the beauty industry. Her work has been featured in Paris Fashion Week, print, television, and movies. Okay, y'all. I told you she's a powerhouse. She loves to give back to her community and has a passion for travel. Edith is a family-oriented mentor who has strong faith and believes that if you put God first, anything is possible. So without further ado, and y'all please say hi as y'all come in, join the conversation, engage with us. I'm going to play her Make It Happen song, and we're going to bring Edith to the room. Say hi. Hello, y'all. Hello. happy Monday. Come on, Edith.
Hey, how are you?
Hey. This the vibe today.
Yes.
I'm getting higher and higher. So this your Make It Happen song, right?
Yes, I listen to that every day. It was my motivation.
Closer to my dream. Getting higher and higher. Welcome to Make It Happen Monday.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for
Hey, Edith. Styles by Angie said, hey, Edith.
Hey,
Yes. So, thank you for joining me today.
Of course, anything for you.
I remember when I used to sit in your chair. That was before the locks.
Don't tell my age, okay? Don't tell my age.
No, I wouldn't tell. Hey, Nat. I sat in your lap. You said, I don't know what you're going to do with this when I was with Nat.
I did say that. I'm sure I did.
And now you see me, you're like, yeah, that was good. That was a good decision.
It works. It's so beautiful too.
These locks. Thank you. We're going to have a good conversation today. As I said, you are a powerhouse, and we have been talking about the state of Black women, and we know that there's a reality that we face as Black women, but you are an example of someone who has broken all of those barriers, all of those statistics, all of those norms. And I just think it is good for us as Black women to be able to have transparent conversations with Black women who have gotten there, right? Because as we aspire and to grow, we can learn from you. So thank you for coming. All right, so let's jump in. I always start with this: for you to share something fun and quirky about yourself that people may not know.
Fun and quirky. A lot of people know I like to roller skate.
Are you good at it? Are you like?
I'm not good at it. Where my roller skaters at? Yes, I'm good at it. I skated for 2 years.
You did a whole.
Yeah, shuffle, roll. I love it.
Shut up. That's
I used to drop. I'm sure I probably could still drop, but I probably wouldn't be able to get up. I ain't gonna try it now, but I love it. Yeah, quirky about me. I don't know. I just like to live, so I do pretty much anything. Yeah,
well, I think the skating is interesting. Like some people might know that, but a lot of us, like, I didn't know that, and I'm envisioning you like really
loved it. I never missed a Sunday. Like anything I had to do had to go around skating.
What?
Every Sunday, I'm walking through the door at 9:50 not to miss Lady Skate. Yes, USA. Yeah. So yeah.
You skate down there in Atlanta? Because you know that's
we took my son skating yesterday, but I didn't skate.
What?
I can't skate unless I have my own skates, and I couldn't find them. So
I could see you doing it though. That's funny. Yeah. KB said hi. Hey KB.
Hey KB.
Hi, welcome. Okay, so that's your fun and quirky trip. So we are getting into it, right? We are talking about the state of Black women. And, for you, I think I talked to you about the City Lab, and I've been talking about that on the show. Just that article that came out that said Cleveland was the worst metropolitan area for Black women to live, right? And so they boil it down to the reason being is because of income status, health conditions, and educational accomplishments, right? And it says that even though we as Black women, like in 2004 to 2014, that we had more degrees, like 23.9% had more degrees, there still was a decline in earnings by 5%, right? Which is saying that even though we're achieving educationally, we're still not getting that income status. So for you as a stylist, you're talking to women from all walks of life, right? In Cleveland, Ohio. From your experiences, is that the reality that Cleveland really is hard for us as income status, educational attainment, and health?
It's hard because everybody that's mostly my clients are working women. So, okay. But what I do hear a lot is that the lack of opportunity for promotion. So I would have to agree with that because they don't promote a lot of African American women in the medical field in Cleveland in a lot of areas. But I think that's the biggest complaint, that they don't have room for promotion or growth.
Yeah.
So, I think for the most part, if they're not the professional woman, they're an entrepreneur.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And we're going to talk about that. So in general, like describe, like, what are the conversations? What are we experiencing? What is going on with us as Black women right now?
I think a lot of it is that everybody wants to have the head role. They want to be the boss. But they don't want to put the work in. I tell my daughters, like, you want the harvest, but you don't want to plant the seed. And at the end of the day, you got to plant the seed. You got to prepare, you know, what's the word? Set some goals and try to attain them, because I think a lot of women, younger women, because us older women, we kind of get it, but the younger ones, they want it quick and fast, because they think
Yeah.
everything they see is
That's
like
the
overnight.
generation.
It
Yeah.
comes with hard work, dedication. Even for people to hold you to a certain level, like respect you at a certain level, you got to put your time in. I'm not just going to respect you because you're good at twirling hair. You got to be community service. You got to have good spirit. You got to want to share. You got, so all those things go into being great. But I think a lot of women are stuck in the competition, comparing themselves. And then the other part of it is no promotion. And then the other part of it is we don't have that many corporations or opportunities for jobs that are in six
That's what I
figures.
was going to ask you.
So,
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, even if people are putting in the work, are the opportunities there?
they're not there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm in Atlanta. I am, but let me tell you something about God.
Yeah.
Since I've been in Atlanta, my opportunities have, you've seen it. I mean, my
Yeah.
opportunities have changed, and
Yeah.
it's not knocking Cleveland, because Cleveland made me. Like, I'm never going down my
Yeah.
city. I love Cleveland, but at the end of the day, I wanted something more, so I made a choice. And I think that women can grow, but unfortunately, I don't feel like it's going to be in Cleveland. And I hate that I waited so long to leave, but I stayed slightly because of fear, but also because I wanted a stronger financial, mental, family base before I, packed up.
Yeah.
And I think that my season is the right season. It was
Yeah.
right when God wanted me to be here, so I'm here.
Right. But you grew before.
I did.
You were doing powerful things before you left Atlanta. Like, it's like you found the opportunity. So, like, walk us back in your life. So you're Cleveland. You're Cleveland born?
Yeah, I'm born in Cleveland.
Okay.
I grew up, well, I didn't grow up, but we lived on 93rd in Way. And
Okay.
then second grade, I moved to Macedonia. So I went to Nordonia Hill Schools.
Okay.
Second grade to the middle into 10th grade, and then I went to graduate from Cleveland Heights. Then I went to Cleveland State. After Cleveland State, I moved to DC for 4 years.
Yeah.
But I've always been an overachiever, I think. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I think that I feel like I always need to my brain just never stops running. So I'm always like, what's next? What's next? And then I got a few accountability partners. Like, one of my mentors is Kim Thomas, Nicole Cumberland. My coworkers are my mentors, KB, Sonia, Tracy, all of them. We all feed off each other, So I think having an open mind has allowed me in certain rooms and certain opportunities. So I'm thankful for that,
So did you start off? Absolutely, like, those people are key. And I'm curious for you, right? And everybody, did you start off, because it looked like it was so seamless? Like, when we look at you now, like, right?
Seamless. That's not true.
Yeah.
Nothing in life is seamless. And it's funny because I work with a lot of young girls, at least 5. And so they some of them feel like, oh, she there, but they don't know what the crying nights, the working through funerals, working through heartbreak, working through a marriage, coming to work mad and fixing your face at the door. Like, it's hard. And then it's hard also being in a leadership position, because you have so many people that count on you. And then on the other hand, you can't please everybody. So you have crazy. But in the end, I want everybody to win. So I think that's why God has put me in a healthy and a thriving position, because I never have a closed hand. My hand's are always open. If you want something, you need something, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's key to being great, is like sharing. Like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of women, they don't want to share. They don't even want to share something as small as, what's that hair oil you use? They don't even DM me back. I'm like, oh, some people, they're afraid of the challenge that you may take something. But the thing about God is, what's for you is for you.
Yeah.
So I can never take anything from anybody. So I want people to kind of focus their mind on just being open and willing to grow. So I talk about that a lot.
Where do you think that comes from? This spirit of competition, this I can't share with you, and how do you think that that's affecting us in the city?
Oh, it's ruining our city. I think that our city we have so much talent there. I'm talking about lawyers, doctors, hairstylists. There's so many great people, politicians. Yeah. Think about how many great people come from Cleveland. But the problem is that we don't want to work together. It's always something. It's always a problem. Or I don't like her. Or I don't want to hear that. Or we just got to do better with supporting each other. Like me and you, I've known you forever. I think you were like my third. You were the one that's like, Edith, can you come speak to the girls?
I know.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
To think about it, actually, after I started volunteering at schools for years, that's how I started Beauty Is Me, actually, my nonprofit, because people like you were like, can you speak to the youth? Can you talk? And then the girls never they're just shocked when I come, because I always go in fabulous. I let them eat lunch. When they come back, the lashes is off, the makeup is off. You know how I do it. And then they're like, oh, Miss Edith. I'm like, yeah, everything is not what it seems.
And so you know what? Back then, Miss Payne had invited you to speak. I worked at the school, but once I heard you, I cornered you in the parking lot. Remember? Remember? That's the first time that I had ever seen you. That was like 2014. That's all I was about to say. I was like 2014. I was working at the school. I had the 3 kids. Like it was a challenge, and I listened to everything that you were saying, and I came to you, and I'm like, how can I get there? Like, what can I do? And remember, you start giving me financial tips, and then I'm like, my money don't look like yours. Like, I don't make sense.
Everybody say that. Science say that all the time. Rich auntie, my money it's not about how much money you have.
I came back years later.
Yeah,
remember?
Are you there? You're there, aren't you?
I'm in a good place. But remember when I started saving, I started figuring out, and you had talked about financial planner, and I came back and I was like, hey, like, I'm getting there. I'm finding it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's all about, I think everything in life is like a sacrifice. If you're willing to sacrifice, like the dinners, the shoes, the whatever, and everybody who know me know I got a shopping problem, but I don't shop outside my means. Does that make sense? Right. Well, I think if people sacrifice, some things, they can attain the things that they want. But I'm in a different place. I would give it all up in a heartbeat, as long as I got my family and I'm healthy. And when you get older, you just, and it's more work, because it's hard being grown, ain't it? And responsible at the same time.
Oh my God. I want to give it up every single day.
It's a lot, but it's not impossible. Like, think about how many opportunities I've had coming from Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland.
Right. And that's what I was going to say, right? There are stories of women who are finding the opportunities, rising above. What's the difference between the ones that can't seem to come up and the ones that are finding a way in spite of, just from your perspective?
From my experience, I think a lot of it is fear, and then a lot of it is getting out of your own head. Because I always tell my kids and people, like, if you don't think you just, who else gonna think it? So you got to kind of believe in yourself. And I can't tell you how many times I didn't have something, but I claimed it and it became mine, because I planned. You know what I mean? So I'm always the type who, Joy always be like, you optimistic. I always claim it. Even if I don't have it, it's gonna be mine. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna work for it. I'm gonna figure it out. So I think that it's ourselves a lot of the times, bringing our past trauma and believing that we're not good enough, or we can't, or it's going to be too hard. But what's the worst thing that can happen if you try? You fail. But if you don't ever try,
you fail.
You fail. And you with regrets, it's the same outcome, right?
Yeah, it's the same
outcome. And then, so we talked about this the other day too, being in rooms where you're uncomfortable, but taking a leap of faith to introduce yourself to people that you want to get to know. Because a lot of times, piggybacking off what we said earlier, it's envy that keeps people from speaking to somebody. Like, people say, you're so mean, you look unapproachable. That's not me. Is that me, Monique? I'm so proud.
No, I don't know what gave me the courage. I just like, but you know what I wanted was more important than how you responded to me in that moment, right? Because you had information, you were giving me a visual of what I aspired to be. So ego, pride, fear, like all of that aside, I'm at least make an attempt to make contact with her to see where it goes. You know what I mean? Like
but look where you are.
Yeah.
See? And that open mind, and that putting the fear to the side. I mean, the fear is still there. The fear was here when I moved to Atlanta, but I was doing it. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have fear in everything you do. So it's like, either you do it like you said and you lose, or you don't do it and you lose.
And you lose. So as an entrepreneur, right? Did you, as a young growing up in Cleveland, did you always know that you were going to be an entrepreneur? You were going to do hair?
Mm-mm.
How did you land? Like, what did you think?
I'll tell y'all this. My sister gonna kill me, but I'm gonna tell y'all.
Okay.
So my older sister does hair, and she used to do my hair all the time, but she would make me wait. Like I get there at 9, I gotta leave at 9. You're not paying, client come first. So this one time I wanted to go to the Bells, right? So I was mad. I was like, I gotta go. Said, forget it. I'll do my own hair. I went home and did my own hair. And then my friend started saying, can you do mine? And I swear the rest is history. I was supposed to go to Johnson-Wheeler College in Rhode Island, which I was never going to do. I got out of that. And it just turned into something. But that's what I'm saying. We have one plan and God will have another. Who would have ever thought it would lead me to the opportunities, the countries, the people I've encountered all these years later?
Talk to us. Lady, tell us some of the people you do hair for. Just tell us.
The list is so long.
Uh-oh.
The list is long. But right now I work a lot with Tiana Taylor. So
yeah.
I love
and I think that's amazing. Like when you think for all of the little Black girls from Cleveland that just don't even see themselves beyond their neighborhoods, and to see that this woman has come from there, you've come from there and you working with stars. Like I told you before we got on, like when I posted you and collaborated with you, Layla Hathaway liked my.
Oh, I love Layla. That's my baby. So my sister actually she does apparel for celebrities, like t-shirts, mugs, whatever the apparel is. And I met Layla in 2004, before then. I was going through a breakup. So her album got me through it. So it was funny how I even fell in love with Layla, going to a concert. My sister's like, come go to this concert I'm working. I'm like, oh, these old people, let me just go. I cried the whole night. I think it was Layla and Kim, and that was my first time seeing either one of them. So that was early 2000s. I lived in DC.
Her voice,
baby, I've been in love with Layla ever since. Her voice is amazing.
Her voice is incredible. Her voice is incredible, like so incredible. I love it. So we're talking about Black girls knowing that they can achieve, knowing that they can get, and we're talking about entrepreneurs. Like, remember when I talked about where we were falling short, right? It shows that 164% of us have become entrepreneurs. Black-owned businesses grew by 164% between 2007 and 2018. So we're becoming entrepreneurs, but that wage gap is still there. Like we're not earning.
You're not getting, getting, because when I work up north, it's different from my income when I work in the South. It's just two different price points. It's two different, opportunities. So it's different.
But why?
No, I think, Atlanta's thriving. So it's
in the South.
The income on the loan that they're bringing in is higher than it would if you were in Cleveland as well. So, I mean, the opportunities are different.
Yeah, but even in Cleveland, if you got a white-owned business or a white female-led or white male-led business, they're earning more than the Black-led business, Black woman-led business.
And I think that so let me give you an example. So we opened a furniture store some years ago, right?
Yeah.
The demographics say that it was a great opportunity. We're the only Black-owned furniture store in the entire state of Ohio. There's no furniture stores owned by Black people in the whole entire state of Ohio. So the industry is ran by men. So we thought it would be a great opportunity. But the thing about Cleveland is the Black dollar doesn't stay in the Black community. So they're not shopping with me. And if they are, they want to compare me to Wayfair, which we all know a mom and pop operation cannot compare to the big boxes because the price point is going to be different. They're buying 10,000 couches. I'm buying 3. But it was a struggle to get people to support the brand. I mean, you had your same regulars, but we sold more furniture to people out of state than we did down the street. And it was crazy to me. But I think the mindset also for some people is, I'm not going to help her get any more successful, or I'm not going to pay them. I'm going to order it this way, or I don't want to wait that extra week when it should have been, okay, she's Black. This will stay in the Black community. Let me wait the week so that they don't get the money, but they still ship the money into another culture. So we don't share our money with each other like we should. But you know that the Black dollar don't stay in the community. And that makes it hard.
Do you think that we could see a difference in the city and the progression of Black women if we did that?
I think so, but I couldn't wait to find out. I've been waiting. I've been
That's
waiting.
Because that's the argument.
I've been
Yeah,
waiting. I've been waiting
yeah.
for some time. And it's not, I'm hating on Cleveland. It's just that if you want to be in a certain price point or financial status, you have to grow financially, emotionally, spiritually. And sometimes that means you have to leave where you are. Now, some people are eating in Cleveland. So some people have opportunities that are great and they're making well into the 6 and 7 figures. However, for me in my industry, it wasn't enough for me. But nothing is ever enough for me. I'm always striving for something. Always doing something.
You like nothing's enough, right? Because you are now a real estate agent.
Yes,
right?
yes. In Georgia and Atlanta. So I'm excited.
So give us a glimpse, okay? Because I just want to get into your brain, like your mind, as you are pursuing and you're moving through life and you're looking for more and you're growing and you're building. The stats and the reality is there. Even in Cleveland, the reality was there, but you still grew a successful salon, you as a stylist and as a salon owner.
And I was still a good mother, still a wife.
That part. I want to talk about that part next.
Okay.
Because I really want to get into that. I want to think, but I want you to just give us a glimpse into your mind when you are getting up every day, when you are thinking about what's coming next. Like, what is in your mind? How do you see the world?
It has endless possibilities, honestly.
Okay.
And that's the biggest answer I could get. I'm not really a serious person. I like to have fun. I love to travel. But I realized years ago that consistency is what will make a person successful. And being consistent, people respect that. So if you're always consistent at something, people respect what you're doing. But in my mind, I wake up, first I pray every morning.
Okay.
So I'm thankful for waking up. And then it's about what can I do better today than yesterday? So I make today better. So usually I have a little book, so I got a list of what's to do. And because I travel weekly to and from Cleveland, I have to have things kind of mapped out in my head. So a lot of it is written down and organized for the day. Like when this is over, I'll be stripping down, going to the next. I plan a lot. And I give out journals because I've always written everything down. And I got a book for every episode in my life. I'm talking about every thought. I write it down because I feel like it makes it real.
So I want to give those tips, right? Because I always say this every week to give practical tips. So when we're talking about a mindset of endless possibilities, right? That's right. So whatever it is that your mind can conjure up or your heart brings to the surface, you're saying it's endless possibilities. And that's one thing about entrepreneurship that did for me. It became the world is my playground, right? Versus like I was restricted by, and entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but I love that idea of endless possibilities. Then we're talking about writing things down, writing it from the perspective of imagining, because like you said, it makes it real. But
yeah, you kind of can grab it. It's funny because I shared I'm cleaning up because we packing, and I found my vision board.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, Paris was all these. Had tears in my eyes. I couldn't believe it. Like 5 or 6 items on my vision board had already happened, and that was my 10-year vision board. Yeah. So it was crazy. Like real estate.
Yes.
Paris, all these things was on there, and it gave me chills because it's true that when you dream about something, you plan for something, it's attainable. Yeah. You just got to be focused enough. And one thing I think is important to understand is that if you have too much of an ego, your ego will kill you every time. You can't
say more about that.
You can't have too much pride. Like, your pride can't keep you from saying good morning or introducing yourself or feeling like you're too good to sell. Because my coworkers will tell you, I'm going to sell you a shirt. I'm going to do your hair. I'm going to sell you some hair products, some weave, some beads, some candles, I'm just a hustler. So I'm not the type who's too embarrassed to say, oh my gosh, I'm selling bracelets or no. I'm a creative person. I love to sell whatever I can to make.
You did sell bracelets, right?
I sell everything. What you need? I can make it. And during COVID, I was selling masks. I'm telling you, it's just my personality. Like my husband said, you're an overachiever. I know. And I know my mind doesn't work like everybody else's, and that's okay. Yeah. But those are the people that you should surround yourself with. People who are innovative, who are constantly looking for the next, because you want to learn from those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Did I
so
hit
you
the question?
no, yeah, you did. You did. So you talk about your husband. Let's go into that. Because for a lot of the women that I work with, and one shout out to the vision board.
Shout out to the vision
Somehow,
board.
for some reason, we have gotten, some people believe that it's like an old school thing and you don't need to
Mm-hmm.
do vision board. We host vision board experiences. Meltrice and I will be doing another one in November. And the word is the word. Write the vision, make it plain.
Yes.
Right? It brings that thing into reality. It goes from this abstract idea to something that can actually,
Reality.
that you can see and smell. Yeah. And when people do it, Issa Rae talks about it, right? Like, if you don't have a vision board, y'all make a vision board, because it
It's
was really,
equivalent to writing it down, though. It's just in
yes,
pictures. So it's
yes,
it's the same concept. And
yes,
here's another thing, since you said that. Let's get off of what's past due and what's corny. If it worked, it don't matter how long ago. People aren't reinventing the wheel.
no, why would we?
Just do it. Just do
All
it.
the millionaires we look at have the same model.
Mm-hmm.
They're not reinventing the wheel. They not recreate it. Not, that's not how they get there. It's
That's
like,
not how you get there. And you got to get there with making a choice that this is what I feel, this is for me, so I'm going to do it. Because I remember I had a long list of names for the salon, and I wanted bangs, and I don't even like cutting bangs on people. And it's so crazy because I named the salon bangs, but I knew I wanted one syllable. I wanted to be attractive to everybody, all cultures.
yeah.
So I sent out a vote. It was like shine, bangs. It was a bunch of crazy names. But my soul kept saying bang, bang, bangs, bangs. Like, so it ended up being great. It ended up being a moneymaker. It ended up still being here 16 and a half years later. So
Wow.
it's my vision. It's what I want, what I need. And a lot of people followed what I was doing, all Black organization, the things I was doing. And that's flattery. It's great. But at the end of the day, I follow what I want to do, not what other people expect from
That's
me
true too.
or what society says is what's going on. Because my daughter's like, Mom, you don't post enough. You're always fabulous. You should post this outfit. That it's just time consuming. It's a lot to. It's just a lot of work, and it's not really me.
And it's a lot of work. It's not really, and it really don't be bringing you in no money. I made the most money when I got off of IG. When I got off IG, I made more money.
It took me all these years to get to 27,000. Like, I wasn't one of those people who bought followers and all of that. I wanted people to genuinely follow me and love me for me. And even if I had 10, I would be happy as long as they were there for genuine reasons. You got people that are looking to be nosy, but I like the fact that they're organic followers and they like my content, because I really want to share myself for real, because I'm really a funny person. But
yeah,
I stay streamlined because
I know that those lives y'all be doing, especially with that one with Tiffany in there. I was cracking up. I love those
conversations though. Our shop conversations. Because you have different age groups. You got our clients are from doctors, lawyers, teachers, entrepreneurs. So it's so many different people in there, and we're really like a family. So we talk a lot, and the conversations are so good. If it was a fly on the wall, baby.
We can have. That's why I met KB. End up having a conversation. She in here talking about, yep, that was a good vision board party. She said she enjoyed it. Listen, so if you guys have questions for Edith, please ask your questions, put them in the chat, and I'll make sure to ask her that question so we can get that answered. So let's talk about this husband and these kids, and raising these kids as ambitious as you are, because a lot of us are struggling to retire, right? Like, of the work and the kids. And, if we're married, we got that aspect, and it's so much.
And it's so hard. It's
so
hard. Sometimes I'm just dead tired. Like yesterday was family day. I get off the plane, come home. Sometimes I cook, sometimes I don't. Then it's the next morning, hey Drew, what you need? He's the last one in the house, so he's
I know you about to be.
So he want to go roller skating. He want to do this, but me and Dre like, we want to go to bed. So you still got to do it. So we had a nice fun day yesterday, but it's like you have to make time for what's important, and I believe people make time for what they want to make time for. Marriage is hard. Being a mom is hard. Nobody's perfect, but I think I realized 4 kids in that once you raise them, you got to let them be who they want to be, not who we dream of them becoming. I think that people are happier being who they are instead of who other people expect them to be, because I know that worked for me. Like my parents probably thought I was crazy and I was going to be in jail or something, because in high school, I had to fight my way out of heights, okay? The whole light skin thing was torturous. But
what?
Yeah, colorism was real back then. And it was a big deal, like high yellow this and light skin this. It was just a lot. And I think that's what helped me want to help the young girls with my Beauty Is Me, because of all the, and at the time I didn't know it was a form of bullying, but the little bullying that I went through, and the realization that you're not going to please everybody, and be okay with your flaws and be okay with who you are. And just because they don't like it don't mean you don't have to like it. And you're just not going to be everybody's taste, and that's okay. But being okay with yourself, and all your flaws and all. So
I love that, Edith. Like, that really speaks to the little girl within us. Oh, just come back full circle what you talked about with competition.
Yeah.
Like us not collaborating and supporting each other. Like that little girl who is worried about what the other one thinks are flawed or not feel like she's enough, or all of that. Like, we deal with that as grown women, especially as entrepreneurs, or if we want to do an event, we're worrying about how somebody is going to look. Are they going to receive us? Are they going to accept us? Are they going to choose us?
Are they going to show up? Are they going to come?
Are they going to show up?
Whoever comes, the ones that's supposed to meant to be there. So anybody who having fear about a class, or having fear about a workshop, or whatever it is, or anything you want to do, those that are supposed to be there will be there. And it may not be as big as you want the first time, but maybe it will the second time. And
have you ever done anything where like it was crickets, people didn't show, or
no,
it didn't work out? Then how you gonna tell us that?
But I have good energy. So with a lot of people, if we vibe, like we vibing, like I'm telling you, I'm funny, but I'm a good time. So if we vibing, and I have good connections with people. Some people I don't, some people I do, because people have preconceived notions of who you are based on what you have, or what you look like, or how you dress, without taking the time to get to know somebody. And there's plenty of new people in my life that I've grown to love in the last 3 years. That are nothing like me. And I love them. I meet them right where they are, but I learn great things from them. Right. So I think for me, my whole goal, and the whole way I've been able to grow is that I keep my mind open. My way is not the only way. It's not the right way. Right. Everybody, you got to respect everybody's opinion, and you'll be surprised what you can learn if you listen.
Yeah, but you can't tell us what it feel like to hold something. I've done something before.
And I don't think I ever did anything and nobody came. That's the thing.
Right.
I mean, I've had fear that people wouldn't come and then it would sell out. You know how our people do. You sell 3 tickets
to the last minute.
Everybody coming through the door. So, I mean, I've never had that experience, thank God. But let me think. Has that ever happened in any aspect?
Okay, so let me see. Let's see. You could give me advice. So I remember one time I did a workshop, and I think 16 people registered, and I think 2 showed up. What would you say to me?
Do it anyway.
Do it for the 2.
The class would have still went on for the 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
I don't know.
Like it's people that the numbers matter.
Talk about it now. Come on.
It's funny. Me and KB talked about this. Is KB still in there? So it was we went to church, KB's church, Alive International, and she was talking about how she struggled with not having as many members, and then her and my husband, went through a little thing, and we cried and whatever with God and all of this, and then she said, but he doesn't realize how he impacted me, because when I'm ready to give up, he reminds me that if I'm only saving one person,
you saving enough.
Thank you. And so you have to remember that
bring it back down for us.
Man, everything is not about numbers. It's about who you impact. So for me, you know how we leave the schools drained. You work in the schools. Yeah. So it's hard sometimes doing it, because I got my own kids. Yeah. I have my own job, and I take my personal time, and I go out and I mentor these girls. But it's a hard deal. Sometimes I've left crying, or like being thankful for my parents that I've never lived in the circumstances they have. And every experience I've had, I think it humbles me more, because sometimes we're not thankful for what we have. We're not grateful.
Right. Yeah.
Just waking up is a pleasure. Being able to use your feet, your hands, breathe properly. I mean, it took me a long time to get to a place where I understood what he meant, about, humble and enjoying what you have and not wishing for, I wish I had this, or I wish I had that, or be thankful for where you are.
How do you balance that? How do you balance
There's no balance in my life. Why do people say balance? There's no balance.
No, the balance. I know it. I know it ain't no balance in your life.
It's really hard. Like all my kids have different personalities.
Yeah.
They're in different phases. Kayla's 30, Kennedy's 24, AJ is 18, Drew is 12. So I have 4 different personalities, 4 different needs. So that's 4 jobs. Then I got a husband. That's another job. Then I have a team.
Another 2 to 3 jobs.
I mean, it's just constant emotional. And I had a little meltdown though a week ago. I was like stressed out. I was like, dang, did anybody call me and ask me, do I need lunch or a cup of coffee? Right. Does anybody ask me how I'm doing? Because my phone rings constantly. Edith, can you do this? Can you teach me that? And I don't have a problem with it, but sometimes I want people to take care of me.
Yes.
And I think people don't realize that. And you hear it all the time. Your strong friends check on them too. But I just was overwhelmed last week. I don't know what it was. I was just, I can't take it. Oh my gosh. But you have those moments where you cry and you let it out because you got so much on you.
Yeah.
But my good friends always tell me, like, God won't put more on you than you can handle.
How did you come out of that?
Which one?
When you delete the most recent one.
Oh, I just let it out. Talk my way through.
Just gotta
moved on. Gotta pull your bootstraps up.
Oh, okay. I thought you was gonna say the big girl panties. I thought you
was. I was, and I bit my.
You ain't got to filter. Go ahead. We just big girl panties. We gotta put them up.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I'm just not being so tired. My brain never starts working, so I'm asleep 3 a.m., waking up at 7 a.m., sometimes 8, and then flying to Cleveland every Thursday on a 6 a.m. flight. I'm always doing something, countries here, there. But I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not without
a lot sometimes. Yeah,
it's not without a few struggles.
Yeah, it's not. And so, for me, I think what am I, year 3? I started my business in 2020. It's been great. It's been hard. And I keep hitting blows. Like as soon as I think like, oh, okay, I got a team member that's going to do this. They're going to fill in this and this. Then they disappear, right? It's like these moments that can literally take you out.
They're there to test you though. Yeah. I learned that not sweat the small stuff. The devil comes in many forms. Yeah. And I realized that. So you just got to keep going.
Yeah. Keep going. And like you said, I think the gratitude, right? Because it's easy to be like, oh, I keep taking these blows and this and that. But it's like, but you have the wherewithal. You have clients. You're able to travel back and forth between 2 countries. It's like, you'll be okay. Like you've done this before. It's those sort of reminders that keep us going. And so
and it's crazy because I don't think I realized. I mean, that people are watching, but I don't think I realized the impact I had until I see people and they say, oh, I'm so proud of you. I see, and it makes me feel good because I know that all my hard work is not in vain. So I know, and for my kids and, to better us and our family. So I think that sometimes I'm exhausted, but I wouldn't live no other way. I like being busy.
I know. You like, it's the adrenaline. And there's a question, because I'm back and forth. They're like, you go back every month? I'm like, yeah, I know I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy.
I'm not crazy. But the thing that people don't realize, it's for you. It may not be for the next person, but it's for me. It worked for me and mine. And that's what they would work in my house, may not work in your house.
Yep.
That's just what it is.
And be okay with that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, what's your dream? What's your life? What can you manage? Somebody has a question here, though. She says, I'm a stylist here in Cleveland. You did a class at my salon. How will you manage a salon from Atlanta? She said, I own a salon here as well. You definitely are a superwoman. Her name is Antoinette. So how do you manage the salon with going back and forth?
I do a lot of nagging. I get on their nerves. I know it. But it's only to keep order. And then I have a great team. We get on each other's nerves. My team is phenomenal. So they look out for me. Tracy, Sonia, Angie, Alexis, Jada, so many of us, Alana, Diamond. I mean, they just good people. I nag on them because they don't wash the towels. Y'all hear me wash them towels.
When I was there, when KB was doing my makeup, you came over to tell her about towels. KB was like, I don't even use towels. And you like, everybody.
It's just little things, but in reality, I want everybody to grow and win and just enjoy life. Like, don't sweat the small stuff. Right? That's how my marriage is where it is, because I started not sweating the small stuff. Just ignore it.
About it.
I'm telling you, because a lot of things don't work out. Any type of relationship, friendships over small things. The small things turn into big things.
Yeah.
And you just can't worry about it.
Yeah. Tiff said, your work is not in vain. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation.
Thank you.
You are a daily is capitalized inspiration, which I would agree. And we are watching. You know, you don't look much older than us. But
Thank you.
You've been in the game.
My mama, I look like my mama.
We are twinning today, and that was not on purpose, y'all.
I know. I was like, who we look alike? Sorry, y'all, my bun. We here though. We here.
We are watching and we are learning and we are constantly being inspired by you. And
I'm inspired by you too. I'm inspired by everybody around me. The thing, I think that it's important to remember that when you don't know something, put yourself in rooms with people who know. Sometimes you have to pay to be in those rooms. Sometimes you don't. But just think about how many free events they have in Cleveland and how many people actually take advantage of them, or how many people actually that's older like me that can listen to a KB or a Sonya and be inspired or be pushed to be a better person, because anybody can influence you. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's just, will you accept it? Will you accept it? And look within. Because baby, I was something else, okay? I'm growing as a person daily. I'm constantly working. I'm constantly talking to myself, affirmations about, being better, saying things better, talking better. What can I do to better me? Because if I'm better, then everything around me gets better, right?
Absolutely. So what's next for you? Because look, we just said real estate agent. You got so what you working on? Tell us what you working on.
I can't tell you. I'm just working on being great. I'm working on retiring by the time I'm 55.
55. Okay.
And I don't want to retire and you know where I want to retire to. I want to retire to an island.
Yeah.
I want to just live and just wake up, smell the ocean, and
oh God, that's what my voice said. My voice.
I thought I wanted a big house and fancy cars, but I want modest living, a tiny house, just happiness. I mean, happiness is different.
You can't fit all your stuff. You can't fit
I won't have all that stuff. I'm gonna have a few pair of jeans, and whoever listening, be quiet.
Listen, you see my face. I'm like, I want to see Edith.
I know. I think under the bottom half of the house can just be storage for all my clothes. But I look at things differently. I had a lot of death after COVID, and it just makes me look at things different. Like, what do we really value in society? What's really important? And so what is important, and that's my kids, my husband, my family, my time, and most importantly, me, because the last 2 years have completely been about me. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been working so hard for everybody else that you kind of lose yourself a little bit. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do what I want to do. When I turn 50, I'm doing what I want to do. And so that's kind of the path I've been on, being happy, doing what's organically good for me, and not care. And I really ain't never cared what people thought, but even just when my kids pull me a little extra responsibility, making it, saying no. I think saying no is like the key to me being a lot less stress-free. Like, I can't say yes to everything. I can't go to everybody's event. I can't do, and I feel better. I even look better. I'm serious.
But that's what me and KB talk about. That is what I encourage for us as Black women. That is why I'm on this island. And we talked about that. Like, should I stay? Should I go? That is a constant thing. And I think it's the city, right? And the potential that we see in the city. Like you said, everything that comes out of Cleveland, the beauty, like when I get back home and when I'm with Tiff and we go to the thing and I see you at the rooftop, I'm like, yeah, that kind of thing. Or the responsibility. Like for me, it was my boys, and I had this perception of I needed to have this suburban life for them, right? And as these jokers get older and giving me the deuces, I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
I hear bruh one more time. Do I look like your bruh?
Oh my God, I say that all the time, Edith. Like, I'm not your bruh, but I started saying, I got to figure out what life looks like for me, because I'm gonna look up and they're gonna be gone, and I've been unhappy, like unfulfilled, not like miserable, but just feeling like something is
like something is missing.
Something is missing. And it becomes and I'm like, I don't know who's gonna say so. I'm glad because I'm not married right now and you're married. And so it's gonna hit different, this like permission to be selfish. And the permission to be selfish doesn't mean that you have to abandon your responsibilities.
Exactly. And I think you're the right person, because an insecure man can never be my partner, because I'm constantly traveling, I'm constantly going. And if you're too needy and you can't support my dreams like I support yours, it would never work. So every situation is not cut for a woman with my drive and my, go-getter energy. Yeah. And I think that I'm thankful for that portion with Dre, because when I'm not there, he still will cook. He can still hold the house down while I'm not there, and vice versa. When he needs me, I'm there. So it works. But it's a tough thing when you're in a relationship and you're not supported.
Yeah.
It makes it hard for you to be a winner. And I think I'm close to my siblings. So having a good family, having a good support system helps you attain your dreams. When people can see your vision and they support it, especially your partner, it makes it better. Now, I ain't gonna say he always been like that, because I haven't always been who I am. So viewers, I'm not saying it's always been great, but it's great that we have been able to grow and get to
grow into it. Yeah. And I think encouraging us to be a little selfish is okay. And
I'm always selfish now, and I really don't care.
And it's right. Who?
And not in a bad way, but it's like you've been there for other people, and they won't do it for you. Even for my clients, I love my clients, but I knew I was in a funk. Like that one year, I was like, what is wrong with you? Snappy. But I knew it. I knew I was missing something. I probably could use the word a little unhappy with, living in Cleveland, because I knew God had more for me. But it was like leaving that fear and just doing it, because signing them like, girl, you ain't going nowhere. I'm like, I'm leaving. Yeah. They're like, okay. Yeah. They didn't believe me. I didn't believe me.
Right.
And I mean, me either. I wanted to be close to my kids. And Kayla's 30, Kennedy's 24. I know grandkids is coming at some point, but also I was so happy. The sunlight, it do something to me.
Girl, do you see me?
It do something. I'm telling you, I love it.
I didn't realize. The
lack of sunlight that we get in Cleveland. And so I think it helped my energy. I'm a little bubblier.
It does. Look, Tiff said when you said you retired at 55, she said, what? Who's going to do my hair?
I don't want to grow hair the rest of my life. I love y'all, but I don't want to do it forever.
Forever. Look, I'm not going to be 55 for a minute, but I'm trying to do a 4-year plan. I'm trying to go hard for 4 years and be
out. That's me, because I'll be 51 in January. So in 4 years, I'll be 55.
Right.
And I was telling my brother yesterday, I was like, it's a mindset, like change. You got to think different for things to be different. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you think negatively, usually negative things happen. So you always got to think positive, come up with a plan, do something different than you did yesterday, and say, okay, I spent this. And even if you write down the little things that you spent all week, you look back, you're like, damn, that could have went in the savings. I could have went in IRA, Uber Eats, this, that, fast food, whatever. I'm keeping this though at $6 a day, but I have stock in Starbucks. So a little bit every day, you add it up and you realize
you help yourself make money, right?
So that little bit of money that you spent turns into hundreds of dollars, which can go into an investment account, which can go towards purchasing a property and towards. That's what I'm doing next. I'm getting into real estate, but you know that.
Getting into real estate. I know. Yeah, I know. Look, when we just went to the wealth conference, and she was like, "Yeah, there's a woman who wants to come out of doing her hair and go into the and I knew who it was. Nobody else in the room knew, but I knew because you had just handed me your card, and I was like, she done went and got. She was a stylist, and she went into design school, and now she is a real estate agent, and it just shows like." Sometimes we get wrapped up in what's the one thing. And for me, like I'm multi-passionate, and I had to start accepting like every 3 years, you're probably going to be ready for something new. Like that's who you are.
But that's because I'm creative. Like people are like, dang, your house is different again. The shop is always different because I get bored with creative spaces because I work better in a new space.
In new spaces.
And so I'm always evolving. I'm always looking for what's new or what's going to make me feel good. So, but it works for me. Everybody can't do that. They like
the same
thing, and it's not me. And that's okay. But we just meet people where we are.
I think that's the key thing that you've said consistently throughout this whole conversation is like finding out what works for you. And in order to find out what works for you, you have to be selfish, right? You have to be selfish enough to learn.
Yes. Why did I learn that in my 30s?
Right. So that's what we want people to know. And thank you. She said she needed this real conversation. She loves this real authentic talk. But so okay, I'm gonna give my last little tidbit, and then I want you to do like tell us what you want us to know if they didn't catch anything else. But what I heard you say over the course of today is just this idea of finding out what works for you, believe in endless possibilities, right? Write it down. So
write it down.
Yes, write it down. And don't be journaling about, we grew up journaling, and even counselors would do this about journaling your feelings, like your negative things. Like, even if you write all of your negative, in that thing with the positive, how you going to turn it around? How you going to shift it? Because whatever you focus on grows, right? There's other ways to release. And once you release, we don't just stop there. Pull it back around to like shift that thing. Like I always say that, like shift that thing. Don't just stay in that negative. So journal for what you aspire and what you want to manifest. Yeah, what you want, not just
what you want to manifest. Yeah, and I think it's okay to put some negative, but do more positive. Like,
right.
The more negative you say, the more bad energy you're gonna have. So you just, I'm going to in 2024. I will have, and it will work if you plan for it. I mean, I think a lot of people spend a lot of screen time on other people's lives, going through social media. I don't even watch TV for real. If I do, it's like HGTV or something, but I don't waste my time on it because it doesn't benefit me. But I do like certain podcasts. I do like certain, people, and the people that I follow that I don't like, I just unfollow them.
Right.
Content ain't right. I just, because I want something different for myself. I'm trying to constantly figure out how to grow. And, I had the little memes about, the wife that send the husband I do it to everybody, my friends, my husband, my sister. They're like, stop sending me stuff. But it's always about money. It's always motivational, or sometimes it's funny. But I'm just constantly trying to figure out what's next. How can I be better? What can I do?
Absolutely. So what do you want people to know, Edith? If they didn't catch anything else in today's conversation, what do you want them to walk away with?
You're happiest when you're your authentic self. When you're living for you and not living for these other people, and doing what you want to do and not what other people expect. Because I think a lot of times we live up to other people's expectations.
Yes.
For me, with my parents, because I know they had other dreams for me, but it ended up benefiting me. My mom was like, you're not doing hair in my basement forever. You're going to either go to school or you're going to say, I'll go to hair school. And the rest is history. So, and it was, and on top of that, I went to hair school for free. Now it's like $25,000. So my career started free. So it was free.
So you are your most authentic self. And it's funny you said that, because I coach women and I take them through a process. A part of the process is ideal versus your ought self. And when I learned that, it was so profound, because we oftentimes have shaped our whole entire lives off of someone else's idea.
Or somebody else.
Somebody's ought, what somebody says we ought to be doing, or who we ought to be. And even when our parents, they're well-meaning. I learned that with my oldest son. The biggest mistake that I made is I positioned him to say where he should go and what he should do, what schools he needed to be in, what was going to be his success. And it took away his individuality to make his own choices. Now you go find him on YouTube. He's doing exactly what he want to do. He don't care how I feel about that content that he created. And I love it. And I'm telling him, I'm so proud of you, because we spend so much time. We spend a good chunk of our lives doing what someone else says we should be doing,
instead of what we feel we should. Yes.
And that's how I feel about
my kids. Like, my oldest got her degree, and then she's so talented. I mean, I'm like, girl, you should be in TV, you should be, but that's not what she wants. And I can't want for her what she don't want for herself. But it was like having those revelations about like understanding that I'm my best version of myself, because I'm allowed to be me. So how dare I take that from my child? And who cares what society thinks she should be doing or other people think she should be doing? I just want healthy, happy kids.
Kids, right.
And so
And
I don't get caught up in what society thinks, because it's funny. People used to be like, oh, you just do hair. I don't just do hair. I own a salon, and just doing hair is a beautiful job. Hairstylists, we transform people's lives. We're psychiatrists. We are a big part of the Black community. And so when people belittle it, we make as much or more than doctors. So this just hairdresser is
that's
just
why
life.
That's why I told you earlier, my money don't run like yours when you was talking about.
It
But
do.
yeah, it can. Endless possibilities, right? Like you got to know that you can make that happen. But I thank you so much for sharing. First of all, you dropped so many different gems throughout the conversation. So I hope y'all caught them. If you didn't, go back, look at them, because it was little advice all the way through. But like you said, the biggest thing is to encourage us to be our authentic selves, and the path that we need to take is going to follow from that. The first thing to do is to be selfish enough to explore who you really are. We don't do that. We don't do enough of that. It's exploration and discovery. And I'm gonna do a shameless.
I like that. I'm gonna use explore too. I'm gonna use
okay. And I'm gonna do a shameless plug, because you told me don't ever be ashamed. That's exactly what we do in our retreats, and I'm doing it here on the island because I want to take us out of the environment that we're used
coming.
to. Come on, I'm putting this in.
I've been there before.
Do the wait list so y'all can be the first one on there. Everything we're doing in a place that you can't help but to get into that exploration and discovery and that growth. Beautiful environment, scenery. The hotel's gorgeous. I cannot wait. So y'all make sure that y'all join the wait list so you can be the first to know. Edith, where can people find you? What would we look for you for? We already know you booked up as far as the hairstylist, but where can people find you and stay connected with you?
Thursday through Saturday, I'm at the salon weekly if I'm not out working. And then wine, you can find my wine at 2U Wines. We didn't talk about my wine label. So yeah, the wine. And then your Instagram at Your Realtor Edith is new. I'm about to start working on that page. And then Chop by Edith. And that's it. You can find me everywhere because I don't sit still. Yes. And I'm open to any fellow hairstylists or anybody that needs mentorship or help or guidance.
That's great, because Antoinette was on here. She was on here. You said email you. What's your email address? So I can put it in here for her.
teambangs@yahoo.com.
Okay. teambangs@yahoo. All right, y'all. I hope this kicks off your week and that you are ready to make it happen like Edith is doing. Please stay connected. We'll see you again next week.
Before you hang up, let's give Monica a round of applause. I'm so proud of you. You're doing so good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Edith.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, see y'all.
Bye.
Bye.